So you've got a lot of different avenues, and I think the interest in pure bodybuilding is a lot less.
On. Good. Nice and smooth. Drive. Yeah. Drive.
Things have changed since the 90s. There's a lot more avenues that people could choose to go down.
Drive it. Bring it up. Yeah.
So, yeah, I look on the other side of it. You know, young guys coming up, maybe they think, well, that's strange, like, not to mention the negative health effects.
Dominance of Dorian Yates. Imagine the bodybuilding world back in the 90s, bustling with excitement and anticipation every time the Mr. Olympia stage was set. In the midst of this electrifying atmosphere stood a figure who seemed to emerge from the shadows, ready to dominate the competition with an air of mystery and intensity. That figure was none other than Dorian Yates, aptly nicknamed the Shadow. Now let's dive into why this moniker suited Yates so perfectly. While his competitors basked in the limelight, flaunting their muscles and garnering attention left and right, Yates operated in the shadows, quietly honing his craft and preparing to unleash his full potential when it mattered most, on stage under the bright lights of the Mr. Olympia. But it wasn't just his ability to fly under the radar that set Yates apart. It was his undeniable talent and dedication to the sport that truly made him a force to be reckoned with.
Of Mr. Olympia, Dorian Yates.
Pull the squeeze.
For 6 consecutive years, from 1992 to 1997, Yates stood at the pinnacle of bodybuilding, clutching the prestigious Mr. Olympia title each time. This unprecedented feat solidified his status as one of the greatest bodybuilders of all time. What made Yates' reign even more remarkable was his introduction of what would later be known as the mass monster era, a stage where muscles bulged to their limits, where size and conditioning reached new heights, and where the crowd gasped in awe at the sheer spectacle before them. This was the stage that Yates graced, revolutionizing bodybuilding with his unparalleled size, density, and definition. In essence, Yates wasn't just a competitor, he was a game changer. He shattered existing norms and redefined what it meant to be a bodybuilder, setting a new standard for muscularity and aesthetics. His legacy continues to inspire generations of athletes to push their limits, strive for excellence, and leave their mark on the world of bodybuilding.
So you've got a lot of different avenues, and I think the interest in pure bodybuilding is a lot less.
On. Good. Nice and smooth. Drive. Yeah. Drive.
Things have changed since the 90s. There's a lot more avenues that people could choose to go down.
Drive it. Bring it up. Yeah.
Intensity of Yates' training. Alright, buckle up because we're about to delve into the intensity of Dorian Yates' training regimen. And trust me, it's not for the faint of heart. First off, let's talk dedication. We're not just talking about your run-of-the-mill commitment here. We're talking about a level of dedication that's downright unparalleled. Yates didn't just show up to the gym and go through the motions. He lived and breathed bodybuilding. Day in and day out, he pushed himself to the absolute limit, leaving no stone unturned in his quest for greatness. And get this, he didn't let a little thing like severe injury slow him down. He powered through, gritting his teeth and refusing to let anything stand in the way of his goals. Now, let's talk about the stark contrast between Yates and his competitors. While some of his fellow bodybuilders may have been content to kick back and enjoy the finer things in life,
Come on, Diesel! Let's see it! Straight in! Fall back. Right up there. That's better, that's the way! Don't do it! Show them! One at a time.
Yates was out there hitting the iron with a ferocity that was downright awe-inspiring. While they were sipping on protein shakes and lounging by the pool, he was in the gym, sweating it out and pushing himself to the brink. It wasn't about comfort for Yates, it was about the grind, the hustle, the relentless pursuit of improvement. And speaking of relentless pursuit, let's not forget about Yates' unwavering commitment to excellence. Sure, he faced his fair share of physical and mental challenges along the way. Who wouldn't, with a training regimen that intense? But did he let that stop him? Hell no. Yates remained laser-focused on his goals, refusing to compromise on his training intensity for even a second. It wasn't just about winning for him, it was about pushing himself to be the absolute best he could be, no matter what it took.
6 to 8 guys on that stage that were like really, like if you were off, you know, those places could change.
Yes! Yes! You want more? Yes!
Like guys are looking for the easy route now because I don't see them training that hard, but then you don't see the quality of the physique. And my stomach just started to get a little bit distended, so I think this is the cause.
Fueling success through adversity. Let's take a trip back in time to understand what fueled Dorian Yates' relentless pursuit of success, despite facing adversity that would have knocked many others off course. First up, let's talk about Yates' tough upbringing. Life wasn't exactly a walk in the park for him. He faced hardships from a young age, including the devastating loss of his father. Growing up in less than ideal circumstances, Yates had to navigate a world filled with challenges and obstacles. But instead of letting these setbacks define him, he used them as building blocks for his future success. Every trial and tribulation he faced only served to strengthen his resolve and fuel his determination to make something of himself. Which brings us to Yates' unwavering drive for success. Rather than wallowing in self-pity or giving into despair, he channeled his adversity into motivation.
So yeah, I look on the other side of it. You know, young guys coming up, maybe they think, well, that's strange, like that I was cut out to do something different. I didn't relate. And they ask me, don't you look at the pictures back and think, wow, I look like that? I'm like, no, I don't look at, I just look at that and I think.
Every setback, every hurdle only served to ignite the fire burning within him. Yates didn't just want to succeed, he needed to succeed. And he was willing to do whatever it took to turn his dreams into reality. Whether it was in the gym, on the stage, or in life in general, Yates refused to let anything hold him back. So when you look at Dorian Yates' journey to the top, don't just see a man who overcame adversity, see a man who thrived because of it. His tough upbringing and drive for success weren't obstacles to be overcome, they were the very fuel that propelled him forward. And in the end, they played a crucial role in shaping him into the legendary figure we know and admire today.
Bodybuilding is just an adaptation to stress. Yeah. You know, you put a certain stress, your body's going to adapt to it. Not to mention the negative health effects. I had trouble sitting on the toilet. I had trouble moving around. I mean, if I didn't, I wouldn't be happy, man. Using insulin and steroids and other things altogether, this is becoming a ticking time bomb.
Controversy and criticism. Let's dive into the world of controversy and criticism that surrounded Dorian Yates, shedding light on the challenges he faced amidst his dominance in the bodybuilding arena. First off, let's talk about Yates competing with injuries. Now, it's no secret that bodybuilding is a physically demanding sport, pushing athletes to their limits in pursuit of perfection. But even by those standards, Yates took things to the extreme. Despite suffering from severe injuries like torn triceps and biceps, he refused to back down from the stage. While some admired his grit and determination, others questioned the toll that these extreme practices were taking on his body. Competing with such injuries raised eyebrows and sparked debates about the risks involved in pushing the human body to its limits. But it wasn't just physical injuries that drew criticism. Yates also faced backlash from his peers within the bodybuilding community. One of the most vocal critics was none other than the legendary Arnold Schwarzenegger. Schwarzenegger, a titan in the world of bodybuilding, voiced concerns that the sport had become too focused on sheer mass at the expense of aesthetics and symmetry. He believed that bodybuilding had strayed from its roots, emphasizing size over the artistry of the sport. This criticism was a harsh blow to Yates, who had worked tirelessly to revolutionize bodybuilding with his mass monster physique. In the end, the controversy and criticism surrounding Yates only served to underscore the challenges he faced in his quest for greatness. Whether it was competing through injuries or navigating the shifting landscape of bodybuilding, he remained steadfast in his pursuit of excellence. And while his reign may have been met with skepticism and dissent, there's no denying the indelible mark he left on the sport, for better or for worse.
Most athletes, sports people I know use cannabis. All the fighters I know use cannabis because it helps them to relax, helps them to recover. That's like, I used to train legs pretty much once a week.
That's good. Keep them like that. Everyone like that. Yeah.
How did you know, like, how much water to drink and when to back off? And
experience.
Legacy and influence. Let's take a closer look at the lasting legacy and profound influence of Dorian Yates, extending far beyond his competitive years and leaving an indelible mark on the world of bodybuilding. First and foremost, Yates set a new standard in bodybuilding that reverberates to this day. His unique training philosophy and unparalleled physical transformation redefined what it meant to be a bodybuilder. By pushing the boundaries of size, density, and conditioning, he inspired future generations to strive for greatness and unlock their genetic potential. Yates didn't just win competitions, he changed the game, setting a benchmark against which all subsequent bodybuilders would be measured. But Yates' influence didn't end there. Far from resting on his laurels, he has continued to educate and inspire aspiring bodybuilders long after his competitive career came to a close.
And the density of the muscle underneath, like there's no fat, there's no water between the skin layer and the muscle layer.
On. Good. Nice and smooth. Drive. Yeah. Drive.
The bar when I was doing back training mainly, and some bicep training and stuff. So I had 19-inch forearms and.
Bring it. Yeah. Come on, that's you. Let's go again. Let's go again, Yates. Yeah.
Through seminars, workshops, and personal coaching, Yates generously shares his wealth of knowledge and experiences with others, helping them navigate the complexities of the sport and achieve success on their own terms. Whether it's sharing training tips, nutritional advice, or words of wisdom gleaned from years in the trenches, Yates remains a guiding light for countless athletes striving to reach their full potential. That's all for this video, folks. We'll see you next time.